Hi there, today we're unboxing an IP camera. So this is an outdoor IP camera with two-way audio. It's by a company called Energay. Details are in the description below for anyone thinking of purchasing. So let's have a quick look at the packaging. Simple packaging, it's got some details there, infrared, IP66 and HD as well. Okay, so let's flip around. Nothing too fancy on there, just basic details. Okay, let's open it up to see what we get in the packaging. Okay, initially some instructions. Let's have a brief look. It's all in English on that side and English on that side as well. And it uses the app UC. Got a power adapter. So in terms of power, let's come in close there if we can. We've got an output of 12 volts, 1 amp. Okay, and one of these sort of connection points. You can connect it via Ethernet or Wi-Fi. So this is the actual seal if you're using Ethernet. Got a Wi-Fi aerial, camera, some fixtures and a seal for the back there. Okay, so I've laid out all the items you get in the packaging. So let's have a look at the actual camera. Okay, so a matte white finish on there, metal construction. Quite a nice look to it as well. Looks like that's the point for the microphone and speaker. You've got an area there for the aerial for Wi-Fi. So that's pretty straightforward, just a case of taking it and just attaching like so. Okay, this rubber seal, so you can mount it and then you can just put that as a cover to sort of seal it tight against an area. And what will happen, you'll have the cable coming underneath, or you could drill directly into a wall or a soffit and fit it in like so. Okay, so construction looks good. In terms of flexibility, you've got some Allen key points here, and obviously that will give you the ability to adjust it. So let me take the Allen key that's in here. Okay, so let's take the Allen key and adjust it just to show how flexible it can be. So it's just a matter of just loosening these, and then you've got the ability to turn it. And then if I loosen that one a bit more, there you go, you've got that flexibility as well. So for positioning, it's quite good. Okay, and then once you've got it in the desired position, you just tighten it up again. Okay, simple as that. Okay, so at this end of it, you've got the connection for the power point, then you've got an Ethernet connection there, and you've got a reset button there. So once, if you're not using it, you can just cover it up like so. Now, if you're gonna mount this outside, probably worth getting just a waterproof box. So once it's in place, this part of it goes into that waterproof box. And then obviously in there, you can put one end of this and that inside your house. So it looks good so far. Build quality looks quite solid with the camera. Show you the other bits. Obviously you've got some raw plugs and some screws just for that. Okay, so next, let's have a look at the seal for the Ethernet cable if you're gonna use one. Pretty straightforward using these. Comes with a couple of bits. So the way it goes together is take this area and put this rubber seal on there. This goes through your Ethernet cable. As it comes up, it goes through there. And that gives you a tight seal at the back. And then this red sort of O-ring goes over here, and then once you've got your Ethernet plugged in, you've got the seal there, so with the rubber there and there, so it should be watertight after putting these parts on. Okay, so in terms of length of cable on the power adapter, Let's have a look at that. Reasonable amount, not too long. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the size of the actual camera. So I've got my ruler here, and if we come in at this angle, so 9 centimeters there, and with the cover, you're saying just a little bit over 10. The full length is about 18, and the diameter is approximately 6, just a little bit over 6. I'd say 6.5 really. There you go. Show you the front lens of that, and obviously you've got your infrared on there. Okay, so if I come in underneath, you've got a couple of screws there. So let's unscrew this. Okay, so you've got an SD card slot there. Okay, so here's how you put in your SD card. So I've got a small 2 gig SD card here, and if I just come in close, just see the slot, push it in, and looks like you've got some sort of, looks like a reset button here at the side, and a rubber seal as well, just to keep it watertight. So let's close this back up again, just ensuring obviously that water seal is correctly in place. Okay, so let's make a start at setting up this camera. So I've plugged in the power adapter, and the other end will plug in here. Okay, so next, let me get my Android device, my Android phone, and go to the Play Store. Click here, and UC app is the one we want. So if I click install, needs quite a bit of access actually. Let's accept that. Give it a moment to install. Okay, so the app's finished installing. So let's click open. Next thing you need to do is register an account. So you can go to quick register, enter in your details, and then continue. So let me do that off camera. Okay, so I've signed in, and immediately it seems to have picked up the camera. So if I click on that, it's now asking for a password. So let me now enter in my Wi-Fi password. Okay, I've entered in my Wi-Fi password. Let me click next. It says 5G Wi-Fi is not supported by this camera, so just keep that in mind.
Start configuration.
Looks like it's configuring the camera in AP mode, so it's probably got a hotspot on the camera. There you go. If I put it in this. Let's give it a moment. And there you go. Connected. And there you go. Wow. And you can hear as well. So two-way audio is working. Okay, so next, let me show you around the options on the camera. So if I come in closer there, you've got defense, playback, and settings. So let's go into settings first. And I've named the camera and device info there. We've got time settings, so you can set a time zone and the time. Picture and sound. Basic details there. Security settings. So obviously you want to reset the password on the device. You don't leave it with the default password. Network settings. Obviously Wi-Fi or Ethernet comes in through there. Alarm settings. So you can receive push notifications from this. So if I turn that on, and we'll put on motion detection. There's a sensitivity level. I go back. Record settings. There's the memory card I've put in, the SD card. So let's format that. Okay, and I can say record on alarm. And I can say the length is 3 minutes. Okay. You can add sensors, but that's not going to be compatible with this. Okay, so there seems to be a firmware upgrade available. Let's leave that till next time. Go back, and if I click on playback, you can play back any recordings that have occurred. Let's just click back again for now. Okay, so now if I click defense here, give it a moment. Defense succeeded. So what this does, this arms the camera. So what you're able to do is actually detect motion when it occurs. So this is a bit extreme, but obviously if I put my hand in front of it, give it a moment. There you go, so motion detected, gives you a quick snapshot of what it's picked up. If we click that, we can jump straight to the camera. And there you go. Okay, you can hear my voice, so if I cut that, that will cut that out. And if I click there, testing 1, 2, 3, test 1, 2, 3, there you go. Sounds coming out of the actual camera, so quite impressive. You've got two-way audio, so if this was installed outside your property, you can actually speak to the person that's outside. It's quite interesting. So say for instance you had it pointed over your doorway and you had it armed, so say for instance the postman arrived with a parcel, you'd get alerted via this that someone's there, and then you could speak to them directly. So quite good. In terms of sound levels, it's not extremely loud, obviously it's just a small speaker on there. So let's try again just to show. So if I hold on to that, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. So reasonable. So you don't want it too far away from your doorstep. Your doorstep. So if there was a lot of noise, you might struggle to hear it. But generally, it is fairly clear when you're talking. And again, if I turn that on, the speaker, so testing 1, 2, 3. There you go, you can hear it. So a slight lag as well when you're using it, but that's normal, obviously it is going via the internet. Okay, so in terms of functionality, if I hit that, recording stopped. If I hit the cut button, it actually grabs a screenshot. If I click here, it's a different definition, so I can go to HD and go to low definition. I guess all depends on your actual bandwidth. We'll keep it on high def. And if I click there, you can go back to the settings. So pretty straightforward in terms of functionality. Very easy to use. If I click here, and you've got it in full screen now. You can initiate a record as well directly. Let me mute that. And if I stop the recording for a second, I can change back to HD, give you an idea of the quality. So it is pretty clear. And that exits the view. And there you go. How simple is that to set up and use? So again, if you don't want it armed and you don't want to be alerted, just click defense. There you go. Okay, the other options you see, so message, that's the motion detection that's occurred. Image, that's any recordings you've done and any snapshots you've taken. And my, that's your actual account settings in there. Okay, so you've seen the unboxing and setup of this IP camera. Outdoor camera, build quality is great, it's waterproof as well, has two-way audio in there and a micro SD card slot in there for recording locally. So a nice standalone camera. Details are in description below for anyone thinking of purchasing. Thanks for viewing and don't forget to like and subscribe.